Now, when I say the words 2011 WWE, who comes to your mind? You might be thinking CM Punk, maybe even Brodus Clay. Hell, you could be thinking Michael Cole. But I think there's one person that sticks out from the rest of everybody on the roster. And his name is Zack Ryder.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Stoof Federation YouTube channel. I'm, of course, Stoof, and today we are going to be discussing Zack Ryder. But there's one particular area of Zack Ryder's career that nobody ever discusses. His time spent in NXT. Now, his time spent in NXT, it wasn't long. It was a cup of coffee, maybe 12 matches. But it wasn't horrible. It was just getting him ready after an injury to go back onto the main roster. Just like people like Tyson Kidd and Eva Marie and all those people. Rest in peace, Tyson Kidd, though. His career could have been so much more. Either way, his time spent in NXT, it was all tag team matches. Which, I mean, it's whatever. It was fine. I enjoyed it. I looked back at his time in NXT and I genuinely thought that it was great. So, we're going to be discussing his time in NXT from start to finish. And then, yeah. So this is a look back at Zack Ryder's time in NXT. So his first appearance was at NXT TakeOver Unstoppable on May 27, 2015. We're on a .com exclusive. He basically talked about how he loved the energy of NXT and seeing everything. And this was the first time that we got a teaser of the Hype Bros.
Oh, Joe comes out like, are you serious, bro?
Dude, it's all insane, baby. That's how we roll at NXT. It was TakeOver. It was unstoppable. The hype levels were off the chart.
We got it.
That's how we do.
Also, let me just say, this is the most I do not want to be here face of all time.
Mojo sucks. So it was basically just this promo, and Mojo Rawley comes out of nowhere and tells Zack Ryder to get hype. I don't know. Hype Bros were ass cheeks. It was great to see that Zack Ryder was doing something in the main roster, but God, Hype Bros were not good. So the team formed over social media, and that basically got the ball rolling. And I'll see if I can find the tweet or whatever it was, but Zack Ryder has 80,000 Twitter posts. There is no way in hell I will be able to find that shit. And it's not on Mojo's. So, I'll try and find it. On June 10th, 2015, it was the Hype Bros versus Riddick Moss and Elias Samson.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
What are we doing here? We got Madcap Moss. Him and Zack Ryder are both lucky ass men. Either way. So the Hype Bros seem extremely over, and that's a constant in Zack Ryder's career. He was always extremely over whenever he was on television. Vince just never did anything with him. Alright. So they seem extremely over in the crowd, and they win with the, I don't even know what their move's called. It's like this pop-up Rough Rider, and it's awesome. Zack Ryder gets the pin, 1, 2, 3. Hype Bros win. Awesome. And it's worth noting that Zack Ryder and Mojo would show up just about every 3 weeks, and this is because I'm assuming they were doing 3 tapings every week. The reason why I said Madcap Moss and Zack Ryder were lucky. That's why. So his next appearance was on stage. This is a little bit of a darker topic. he was standing behind Triple H for the 10-bell salute for NXT when Dusty Rhodes passed away, unfortunately. So I thought that it was worth noting that he was there. Then on June 24th, 2015, it was the Hype Bros versus Sawyer Fulton and Angelo Dawkins. It's so, like, it was such an obscure thing in my head to see Angelo Dawkins wrestling with fucking Sawyer Fulton and not being in the Street Profits and, like, not having a gimmick at all. So Zack Ryder hits a broski boot. 1-2, gets broken up. And then then the match keeps going for a little bit. Pop up Rough Rider, 1, 2, 3, gets it. Overall, good run, getting good stuff. And most of these matches, I can't discuss all these matches because that last match that I just discussed was basically the exact same as the first match. So we're going to move to their most important match in NXT, when they fought Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. It's also worth noting that Zack Ryder was on the canceled pilot for NXT Kids, where he conducted this interview.
We're here with WWE superstar Zack Ryder. Now, I just want to ask, where did the woo 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 come from?
Woo! 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 Well, the woo 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 was something I used to say to girls to get their attention. So when they walked by me, I'd say woo woo woo, and hopefully they turn around, and then I'd start talking to them.
I mean, if that's your strategy, Zack. A woo woo.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So yeah, that's basically the most important match of their run. It's versus Blake and Murphy. And I mean, this match, I mean, it's nothing. It's a good TV match, but it's nothing to be astonished for. This was one of their last matches on their way going out of NXT, inevitably getting called up. And so it was a good match, and it was very important because it showed for the first time them really beating anybody of prominence besides like the Revival. So they beat former tag team champions Blake and Murphy. And yeah, it was great. So the way that they play this match out is they make you think the Hype Bros are gonna lose. They're the underdogs. Hell, they got the jobber entrance. They were in the ring when they cut back from commercial. So the Blake and Murphy were playing heel the whole time, and Zack Ryder eventually, after so much trial and tribulation, getting attacked, blah blah blah, he hits the broski boot, and that temporarily takes out Wesley Blake. And then they keep trucking on, and then Murphy gets back in the mix. Mojo's in there. They make a tag. They pop him up. Hype Rider. They hit the Hype Rider for the 3, and they both win. And this basically shows higher ups that Zack Ryder can still go, and he goes back to the main roster. Him and Mojo do decent for themselves on the main roster until they break up. So yeah, that's really it for this video. It's a shorter video because there's not much substance to cover about his NXT run because it was so short. It was like 8 televised matches. And all of them were basically the same. They did have a mixed tag team match, but I couldn't find the full match, with Bayley versus Wesley Blake Murphy and Alexa Bliss. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Drop a comment if you like these style videos. And yeah, subscribe, like, do whatever. I don't really care. I'll see you guys.